Hey guys, I'd like to talk about the whole YouTube censorship thing again. Well, I've been watching a few videos, from computing science, Sticks and the Hammer, 666. I'll try to put the links below. But, they're freaking out. You know, there's a real push going on now, and they're not holding back, right? YouTube is censoring pretty much anybody, literally anybody. You don't even have to be left or right wing. As long as you're somebody who's taking money from the majority of these corporations that are now coming into YouTube and influencing them, you are the target. That's why they're now, targeting LGBT and, just all these different types of people that have very little to do with politics. So, their channels are going to be gone. And it's kind of interesting because it's like, these are the same people who obviously were the ones who were asking for censorship, who were calling for censorship of, right-wing opinions. Now it's happening to them. So it's kind of interesting, but even though that is, I don't think we should be petty. I think we should still stand up for them in that sense, and still not just throw them at the wayside, because that's not going to help anybody, including ourselves. But yeah, I think we need to start moving over to new programs or new channels like VidMe, uh, Minds, Gab AI. These are all viable options that people could be going to right now, and you probably should be moving your accounts there because there are a lot of people who will start to be censored more and who will eventually need to, you know, go somewhere else, because essentially a lot of these people's videos on restricted mode are not being seen by anybody, and most people are set to restricted mode by default. So, you know, that's 90% of the people, right? Like, a lot of people are lazy. They don't even bother signing in. They won't do that. They don't even know you have to sign in. So right away, that's going to just block a lot of content. It's going to stop a lot of the growth among the average YouTubers. And what's going on right now is that companies like, CNN, MSNBC, all these different companies are now, they've been on YouTube for a long time, but they're not really doing that well. And they're the only people whose content is not being censored, right? So if you have something to do with politics, this and that, it could even be, an opinion that corroborates with theirs, but you will still be censored because it is about censorship, but it's mostly just about money right now. And, people, follow the money, always follow the money. And this is why they're censoring you. And it will backfire on them. I'm fairly confident of this because I don't think that the CEOs of YouTube and these companies realize the demographic shift that's going on right now, the shift in mindset. And I don't think they're taking into account that. So that's going to, hurt them, and eventually give it a couple of years, if anything, maybe even sooner, they will probably revert back to their old ways. That's my guess, but that's just because, I believe that we're moving in a certain direction, and economically they're going to have to do it because otherwise, they're just going to fail and they're going to become like MySpace, right? And that's what's going to happen. So we need to fight back. We need to support other YouTubers that we know. We need to start donating to Patreon, right? We can, you know, we can't rely on, or these YouTubers can't rely on just AdSense. And if you watch their content all the time, you probably should donate a little bit, maybe $1 a month, right? So then these people can keep making content, and they're not pretty much held restricted by the AdSense. So we need to start just going to different platforms, and also, supporting the people that you watch. We need to start doing that. If we don't, you're going to lose all the YouTubers with different opinions that are very valuable to you, and you're going to have to take it from the mainstream media. And we all know that they don't tell the truth, or they spin the truth. And they will never be for you, right? The media right now doesn't care about you. They're not doing things for your benefit, right? And most people do things for money. A lot of people do. But and same with a lot of YouTubers. They also do it for money. Hey, let's be real. But at the same time, they have more of incentive to tell you the truth. And also when they're not, you know, they don't have other connections higher up, this and that. Like, they're just regular people. They're a little more trustworthy in that sense, even if they don't have the same qualifications or academics as the other people. So we need to start doing that. And, just be aware, spread the word, tell other people what's going on. I'm sure the majority of the normies out there have no clue, no idea. They're not even going to notice this restricted. And people need to be red pilled. Like they need to be red pilled. And the media, the internet is very good for that. And so is YouTube and Twitter and these types of things. But these platforms are being assaulted. And if they don't collapse, then they will just continue. If they don't collapse, then they'll maybe loosen some restrictions, hopefully, or yeah, they'll collapse. So we'll see. Time will tell. But in the meantime, support your YouTubers and give them money through Patreon, right? But that's pretty much all I have to say about the issue. If you like my content, subscribe and have